Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1973-76 Carryover League. We got another opening day in the National League. The Arizona Diamondbacks travel to the Philadelphia Phillies. If you're wondering, yeah, no kidding. The Arizona Diamondbacks did not exist in the 1970s, so they're one of the 8 expansion teams during this part of the timeline. But we put a pretty good team together. It's a team that focuses on batting average, I noticed. And, well, here's this. In the expansion division, 1 out of the 4 teams always goes to the playoffs every year. That means Arizona, Colorado, Las Vegas, or Portland. Arizona usually gets the first pick in the individual year drafts, the seeding drafts, that contribute to the talent pool. And they get the first of the 4 picks in that division because of the alphabet, folks. Because Arizona is before Colorado, before Las Vegas, and Portland. That's the order the draft goes for that division and individual season drafts. Of course, that gets culminated into our Carryover League. But what's it mean? Well, not a whole lot, folks, because Arizona has done squat. They haven't done a thing. I can't remember the last time they've been in the playoffs, to be quite honest. I know Portland, Las Vegas, and Colorado, about 6 or 7 years ago, Colorado. But oddly enough, Las Vegas and Portland have been at the top of that division. Isn't that weird? They are team 31 and 32. All right, enough of that. Let's get to this thing. We're in the vet, and Philly fans don't want to hear this nonsense. For Arizona, we've got Reggie Cleveland. Reginald, 14-game winner, 1973 with your Cardinals, 224 innings pitched. Not a shocker here, folks. Coming off his 1972 27-win season. We got Steve Carlton. We boosted him up to a 4-year contract. 1976 Carlton, 20-7, 3.13 ERA, 253 innings pitched. These are the salad years for Steve. Really good prior to this, even better after this, but 73 to 76, not so much. Let's get started from the vet. Leading off for Arizona, it's Pedro Garcia. 53, rolls back to the mound. Merv Retman, 1-7, grounds short. And Bruce Miller, 66, flies to left. The Phils, bottom of the first. Leading off, their new and improved center fielder, a .330 hitting Gary Maddox. 1-5, let's take a look at that card. He just knocked it, folks. We had his Giants card, a 73. We said, you know what, as soon as 76 rolls around, that's his career year. That's when it all fell into place for Gary Maddox. It's .330, Gold Glove center fielder, a 1 with a -2 arm. My goodness, ace dealer, 1-17 runner. He's got power versus righties. Here it's homer 1-4, so it'll be a 2-base hit. Now it's Tim McCarver batting second. 55 is a walk. That's why he's batting second. Batting third is Jay Johnstone. 1-7, double 1-14. That is an RBI single, and it's 1-0 Phils. They're still stroking it, folks. Mike Schmidt, 2-11, fielder's choice. So the run will score on the ground out. Schmidt's an A stealer with his 74 card. Huh. Got a -1 arm of Plummer. We'll stay there with 1 out. For Greg Luzinski, 2-4, flies left. And with 2 outs, it's Gary Thomason, new free agent they brought in to play first base as a left-handed bat. 4-8, single 1-17 off Cleveland, he gets it. 2 on, 2 outs for Walt Williams, 69, center. WW. Top of the second. It's Dave May, 310, grounds a second. Hal Breeden, 2-7 is a K. And William Plummer, 38, grounds to short. No relation to Amanda Plummer. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Just didn't think it would be, but... Larry Boa, 37, single 1 to 5, is a liner to second. Denny Doyle, 48, single 1 to 17, saw that earlier, is a base hit. Runner at first, D-Stealer. For Gary Maddox, 62, flies to right X. Out in right field, you have Merv Retman. He's a good fielder, 2E5 in right. And he boots the ball. 2-base error on Retman. Huh. So much for good... Last time I say nice things about you, Merv. Second and third, one out, Tim McCarver. 66, pops the third. And with 2 outs, it's Jay Johnstone. 1-8, base hit center field. 1 run will score. We're going to run Maddox, of course. And he also scores. And those are unearned runs. And that's sort of... Yep. That's stuff happens like that to expansion teams. Often. Mike Schmidt. The whiff. Top of the third. Lefty looking strong early. Mike Hegan, former Oakland A's, got a nice big, huge World Series ring on his finger that he shows all his Arizona teammates who could care less. No, they're really happy for him, I guess. 1-7, that's the whiff. Quite a come down into the clubhouse for Mike Hegan, going from the swaggering dynasty Oakland A's to the Arizona Diamondbacks. But he gets to be more of the leader here, you know, the clubhouse sage, as it were. Mike Vail, 110. Single 1 to 17 is a base hit. Stevie Ray Braun, batting 9th against lefties. Hey, that's great. That means they're really good. Stevie Ray Braun at 302. He's batting 9th. That's pretty darn good. Fielder's choice. And with 2 outs, it's Pedro Garcia. 1-5. Ground ball to let me see. Braun's ground ball to short. Bottom of the third, it's Lazinski, 57. There's a K. Gary Thomason, 66, pops the third. And Walt Williams, 49, second X. 2E14 for Pedro Garcia. Nice leather out there. Makes the play. All right, nothing that inning. Nothing that time. Into the fourth, Merv Rittman. 1-6 is a walk. Bruce Miller, 4-4, short X. But you got Boa, the vacuum cleaner, at short, and of course that's a double play. And that is a real quick ticket to how to get to the playoffs. Have Larry Boa playing short. Always go on my little shortstop diatribe, folks. You get a 1E12 at shortstop, that fixes so much. That makes things so much better. You get a Bud Harrelson on the 69 match. You get Boa, you get Mark Belanger. Heck, you get Campaneris, who's a 2. But you get yourself a slick fielding shortstop. Your path is pretty darn much clearer than the waters aren't murky towards the playoffs. Dave May, 39, flies to center. And a promising inning that started with the leadoff man reaching is over, thanks to Mr. Boa. And here he is, stepping in the box, Larry Boa, 36. Base hit for the A's stealer. We got to try a stolen base then. And he's caught stealing. Your euphoria ends quickly. Denny Doyle, 46, second X. You got, 2E14. Garcia makes an error. What is up with the Arizona defense today? That's not going to work. 2 errors in 4 frames. Reggie Cleveland's a little bit perturbed about that. Gary Maddox has been on a few times. 65 flies to center. And with 2 outs, it's Tim McCarver. 1-8, grounds a second. Into the 5th. Hal Breeden, 34. Rolls to third. Bill Plummer, 62. Flies to center. Mike Egan, 310, is a grounder to second base. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right. Nice day in Philly. Partly cloudy skies, 51 degrees. Good enough baseball weather for chilly April. Jay Johnstone, 1-2. Is a strikeout plus an injury. Well, they went out and got a defensive outfielder, and John Jeter will take the spot at the top of the next inning for the injured Johnston, who'll leave the game. Injuries, if you're wondering, if you haven't seen this channel, you leave the game. You come back tomorrow. We don't even roll. That's it. He's out for the rest of the game. He comes back tomorrow. But he's definitely out for the game. Sometimes you can roll the injury and not leave the game at all, but I don't do it that way. So here we are. 1 out in the 5th. It's Mike Schmidt. 2-8 is a K. And Greg Luzinski, 212, flies a left. We go to 6. Mike Vail, 64, Ks. Stevie Ray Braun, 37's a K. And back up top to Pedro Garcia, 68, base hit. Merv Retman, 38, single 1, 2, 3. Cannot get it. The inning's over. Bottom of the 6th. Gary Thomason, 55's a walk. When was he a B stealer? He's a D. I thought he was a B in one of these years. Anyway, Walt Williams, 55. Rolls a second. Runner moves up. Boa, 35. Another hit for Larry Boa. It's a base hit in the center field with 1 out. Thomason, 14 runner. -2 in center field. Let's pump the brakes a bit. We're not, overly stressed about things. We got a 4-run lead. Make them bring the infield up. They will with 1 out for Denny Doyle. 46, second X. Again, you got the 2E14 at second base. So the runner at third holds. They get the out at first, and the runner at first moves to second. With 2 outs, back at the top, and it's Gary Maddox. 46 off Cleveland is a fly ball to right. Reggie Cleveland, tough break there in the second inning, and had a nice outing overall. Top of the 7th for lefty. Bruce Miller, 55 for Bruce. Whoops. Is short X. Shortstop is Boa, of course. Of course, I don't remember the last time Larry Boa's made an error. He's made one in like 10 years or something like that. I don't remember. It's just, something like that. Dave May, 2-6, triple 1-4, base hit. Hal Breeden, 59, and you hit lefty's car, triple 1-2 single, and the snakes are rolling. Snakes are slithering here in the 7th. Reggie Cleveland's a starter 7. Carlton's a starter 8, if you're wondering. So we got runners on the corners, not at a point of weakness. Going to play it back with a 4-run lead, and it's William Plummer again. 3-10. Let's take a look at Bill Plummer. You know why, folks? The much maligned Bill Plummer, for a lack of stick, has a really nice 1974. And why you might not know that is that the Cincinnati Reds did not have a very nice 1974. They missed the playoffs that year. But when Bill Plummer's really bad, the Reds go to a World Series. When he's good, and by good I mean he's hitting 225, but against lefties he mashes, folks. Homers and doubles and Tigers and Bears, oh my. I mean, Bill Plummer, yeah. The rare time in 120 at-bats he's actually can contribute with his stick. 3-10, single right field. That'll score a run. Hal Breeden will not. He'll stay at second base. He's kind of slow. Yeah, he's an 8-runner. Lefties put 3 straight on in the 7th. And your tie run's Mike Hegan. 38's a K. And with 2 outs, it's Mike Vail. 67, another K. And that puts a kibosh onto that. 4-1 game. Arizona scratches out a run. Stretch time here in Philly. We are enjoying the Philadelphia Freedom LP of 1975. This is South Philly we're listening to. Ferry Avenue, Philadelphia Freedom. Get down with the Philly sound. And, yeah, that's it. That's the thing there. MFSB, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother. Love is the Message, another record, and, yeah. All that wonderful stuff. All right, back to the game. The Phillies, it'll be Tim McCarver. 2-11 is a pop to short. Jay Johnstone, 68. That's a base hit off Reggie Cleveland. Not Jay Johnston, John Jeter. That's a single chance, actually. 6, 8, 1, and 9. And it's a line out. So take that off the board altogether for John Jeter. He's not the hitter Johnstone is, so it becomes a line out. Check that out. And with 2 outs, it's Mike Schmidt. 53, left X. Mike Vale's out there, 40-13 and all. That's going to be a base hit. And Greg Luzinski, 2-3, is a base hit through the. You have to hold Schmitty. See, this is great. You got to hold Schmidt, an ace stealer. He was like a B stealer in 1980 still. He still had that reputation. But holding him on, you rolled the plus. That's a base hit. Now you got runners in the corners for Gary Thomason, and now you're close to the point of weakness of Reggie Cleveland. Here's the pitch. 57 short X. Can Reggie get some help? Bruce Miller, no. He's a 40-48. Looking for a miracle to get out of this. And he gets it. Nothing. Just a GBC on the horrendous defense of Bruce Miller. And the Phils did not score. And you know what? Not a bad outcome for Reggie Cleveland today. 4 runs, only 2 earned. Settled down nicely. Did what your ace is supposed to do. Pitch deep into a game. Give your team a chance to win. There's that. It's a 4-1 game. We go to the 8th inning. Lefty, yeah, this is his breaking inning. Can the Phils put some defense in there to help their star? I would have said bring in John Jeter, but you already did for an injury, which means that Luzinski has to finish the game in the outfield. He was the one that was going to leave the game for Jeter, but things changed. So let's go to the 8th. Lefty continues, and it'll be the number 9 hitter, Stevie Ray Braun. 33, grounds to first. Pedro Garcia Lorca, 210. Let's take a look at this Pedro Garcia card of 1975. Interesting note, Arizona had his card in a different year, I believe 74, and he hit righties better than lefties, and he had 15 home runs. But they have a left-handed second baseman already, John Knox. So Pedro Garcia and Steve Stone swapped their years. Steve Stone moved back to the 73 card, and Pedro Garcia moved up into the 75 card. And he's got all sorts of power against lefties. And that is a better platoon for Arizona. John Knox, a left-handed batter versus righties. Pedro Garcia crushing dingers against the lefties. All in all, 210, homer 1 and 19. It is gone. Pedro Garcia, it's a 4-2 game here in the vet. Getting interesting. Merv Rittman, 111 is a fly to right. And Bruce Miller, 45, flies to right field. Bottom of the 8th. Cleveland's put a couple guys on this breaking inning. That's usually a recipe to get him out of there. Let's get rid of him. And you know what? I'm just going to bring Steve Stone in. So here we go. So we got 73 Steve Stone. That's the card that they had drafted Stone with a 75 card. He pitches in 200 innings. Then they said, you know what? We can make our team a lot better if we move Garcia into that different year. And that's what they did. And Stone ended up going to the bullpen. And you know what? This team has Bob Moose on it. And unfortunately and tragically, Bob Moose, he dies in 1976. So when his last 2 years will be here in Arizona, apparently, Steve Stone will resume. He'll go back into the rotation. Right now, Bob Moose is in the rotation, and Stone's in the bullpen. So that's how it kind of worked out for all players involved. Steve Stone, in the bottom of the 8th, will face Walt Williams. 112, ground ball to third. Larry Boa, 44. Catcher's X. Your catcher, Bill Plummer, 3E13. Makes the play. And Denny Doyle, 54, center X. 2E10, Dave May. And he makes the catch. All right. We go to the 9th. Lefty. Is he going to go for CG? You know, it's lefty, and, I think I'll go for a CG. I mean, you're always putting stuff on your resume for a Cy Young, and complete game wins are up there. You start pumping those in there. We saw what Catfish Hunter did a year ago. My goodness. So, it'll be Dave May here in the 9th against Steve Carlton. 310 grounds a second. 1 out, it's Hal Breeden. 112, a strikeout, plus an injury. Oops. And with He's a DH. He's not injured. That's good. And with 2 outs, it'll be Bill Plummer to save the day. Here's the pitch to Bill Plummer. 57 off lefty is a strikeout. And yes, sir, if there's a guy, who doesn't need a help, doesn't need a closer. Again, he's not even a starter 9. And maybe that's also a good thing. Folks, a lot of times if you're a starter 9, or even if you're a starter 8, you're left in there to save yourself. You don't have a closer coming in for you. And you blow your own save. You blow your lead in the 9th inning because you're left in there and the team rallies in the 9th against you. Saw that happen to Gaylord Perry a few times in spring training with a starter 9 card. Anyway, so in this particular case, though, lefty survived. He's fine. He had no problem whatsoever with the Diamondbacks in the 9th inning. And your final score today, 4-2 from the vet. Steve Carlton with the win, Reggie Cleveland with the loss. We'll resume here in the vet. Arizona will send previously mentioned Bob Moose out there against Wayne Twitchell. Then when we go to Arizona, they will have Jeff Zahn on the mound, and the Phillies will send Pat Dobson. Nice little pickup from the American League East. Game 4, Bruce Del Canton for Arizona, and the Phillies will debut the Major League debut of Larry Christensen in their rotation. So stick around, we'll have more. All right, folks, series over. Oh boy, folks. So here's the box score of Game 1. Philadelphia with a 4-2 victory. Lefty with his complete game. 6 hits, 2 runs. A walk and 8 Ks. Cleveland, 7 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, just 2 earned, 2 and 4. So, respectable opening day. Home team, gets taken care of there, as you can imagine. Game 2, can Arizona steal a win in Philadelphia? Oh, they tried. They certainly tried. Wayne Twitchell versus Bob Moose in this one. Diamondbacks had an early lead, a sac fly in the 1st inning. Added a home run by Dave May in the 3rd inning. Phils respond in the 3rd with a double single by Thomason Williams. An error by Bob Moose, not helping himself out there. A Tim McCarver triple. By the way, he had 5 triples. He also has triple 1 to 12 on his own card. So it's 3-2. Hal Breed responds with a game-tying homer in the 5th. Then the Diamondbacks take a lead in the 6th. They start roughing up Twitch, although he's lingering in the game. Long start for him, even though he's getting knocked around a bit. Then the Phils tie it in the bottom half of the 6th and 7th inning, leaving both pitchers with at that moment a no decision. In the 8th inning, Moose is pulled after 7 in a tie game. Twitchell goes out for the 8th and has a 3-up and 3-down inning, so he has a chance to escape the game if they get a run in the bottom half. Darrell Knowles comes out of the Diamondback bullpen, lefty setup guy. He's been the closer the last few years. This didn't have it. Threw a triple to Larry Boa, an RBI single by Doyle, and that's the 1 run the Phils needed. They went to McGraw. First save opportunity in Game 2 in Philadelphia. Gives up a single, strikes out a batter. And Philadelphia, relentless, they were going to, hold off the fort, and they did. 6-5. Not exactly dominating, but, seemingly in control of the matter. Was hardly ever in trouble. A 4-2 and 6-5 victory. So what does it mean when we go to the desert? Joshua Tree. Graham Parsons and the Fallen Angels giving a concert before the game. The Phillies have Pat Dobson, former Yankee Oriole. Who else? Cleveland? I can't remember who he all pitched for. Against Jeff Zahn, a promising lefty starter again from the Dodgers. But we've seen Dodger pitchers just being not pitching for the Dodgers throughout our league. Zahn actually went to the Cubs as well, then eventually the Twins and the Angels. But anyway, Zahn, he just gets knocked out. The Phillies just come out beating him. A Maddox single by Taylor. Schmitty, 2-run dinger. They get they bat around, score 4 in the 1st. More in the 2nd, an error on the second base and a single, and a Tony Taylor homer. Tony Taylor crushes lefties. The Diamondbacks get some runs on their own. In the 1st, an RBI single, Hal Breeden. They get a homer by Ed Herman, former White Sox catcher. RBI single, Merv Retman. It's just too much Phillies. It's 7-3, then it's 8-3, then it's 9-3 in the 5th. And they're just creating some distance. Dobson uncharacteristically walks the bases loaded in the 6th, so he leaves. Gives 2 runs are charged to him, so he gives up 5 runs in 5 2/3. He'll escape with a victory. As the final 3 innings are uneventful, and it's actually setup guys Steve Barber and Gene Garber. Barber and Garber, look at that. Setup men. Finishing the outing, Zahn's numbers: 4 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 9 runs, 8 are earned. Dobson did get the win. No save in this one. And the Phillies do something we haven't seen yet this year. We have a 3-game sweep. The Phillies win all 3 games of 5. Series is over. That makes them the big wiener thus far in the league. Diamondbacks at 0-3 are hitting .240 with a 5.40 ERA at this point. Let's move to Philadelphia, and how dominant are their statistics? They're hitting .330 with an ERA of 4. The .330 is pretty balanced. I might want to add here. I'm looking at the number of hits. I see a 6, a 5, a 5, another 4. I don't see anybody with like 8 or 9. It's just, it's a balanced Philadelphia offense. That's what wins in sports. It's what wins. You don't need to, there was a situation the Phillies played, as a matter of fact, in the Fall League World Series. Mike Schmidt was absolutely on another planet. Hit like 500 with like 4 home runs in the World Series, something like that. Nobody else did a damn thing, and the Phillies got undressed by the Ohio players. And that's happened the last 2 World Series. It's been all Mike Schmidt and nobody. This Philadelphia squad is balanced. They got everything. They got Maddox having a big year. They got Johnston with a big average. Lazinski with a big average. Tony Taylor crushes lefties. That's a nice little piece. Boa and Doyle, good double play combo there. They added Tubman McGraw to the bullpen. Phillies look pretty darn good. Break them up. Philadelphia Phillies. The sweepage. We have sweepage in the opening round. They are in first place by themselves in the National League East. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.